and there's always music in here.
This is your captain speaking. I'd like to welcome you to ItsRJTV. Sit back, buckle up, and get ready for takeoff as I list 10 of my secrets to success on Golf Clash.
The suspense is killing me.
So, in no particular order, here are 10 things that I believe made me a better Golf Clash player and can do the same for you. Number 1 is don't hit the ball too short on chip-ins.
Okay?
I don't know how many times my ball has come up just 2-3 yards shy. Like you see what just happened on screen? He actually went a little beyond the hole, and that would have sunk in the hole if he would have actually had it lined up perfectly. Number 2, dunking is easy at the right times.
You can do it! You can do it! You can do it! You can do it!
And it's even more consistent than hitting the ball regularly. Now, here is what I mean by that. Let me see this real quick.
I'm a pro.
This is the perfect timing because he's actually in a spot for dunking. So I couldn't have planned this any better. The only thing is, watch me miss because I'm trying to prove a point. Now, if you can get that center, the yellow, to completely disappear, you're in a good spot to dunk. Now, that's not quite the case here, so I'm going to adjust a little bit for the wind by moving just a tad bit out here. We don't have to adjust for much wind, and that should go in if I can get a perfect shot. Let's take a look.
You idiot! I did it!
Oh, give me.
Now,
Look at that, guys. I did that all by myself.
had I done that with a regular chip-in, you know how many times I line up the ball guide and everything the correct way? He's dabbing. And the ball just barely skims past. I do much better at dunking, and that was a harder dunk. There's a lot of times where you'll be really close to the hole on the fringe or whatnot, and you will be able to fit your whole target in the hole. Those are give-me's. So I highly advocate dunking. Plus, you get gems for dunking. So use gems only on must-have clubs that you don't yet have, or if you're just a few clubs away and it's not a common club that you get, and you want to upgrade really badly, buy 1 or 2 cards, to take you up to the next level. I can also see using your gems on that. But beyond that, you should be using your gems on balls. So that's number 3. Number 4, don't lose more than 2 or 3 games in a row. If you lose 2 or 3, especially when you're playing for high stakes, 100,000 gold coins, or you know what? Back when I was playing on beginner, like my son's playing right now, it was high stakes at 50 gold coins because you don't have that many gold coins. So you lose a couple games in a row, put the game down, go find another game to play, come back an hour later, try it again. If an hour later you come back and it just seems like the ball's not bouncing your way, or like the ball is bouncing the way for your opponent and you're playing just fine, walk away for another hour. That's the best way to hold on to your money and not go broke.
Show me the money.
And speaking of which, this is good to go into Bankroll. I like to have 11 times the entrance fee. And what I mean by that, here's an example. I'm on tour 7. So in tour 7, I go with
$1 million.
If I win my first game, that'll give me 1.2 million gold coins, and then as long as I don't go under 1.1 million gold coins, I will always have at least 1 million gold coins. So if I lose and I go back down to 1 million gold coins, well, then I'll go back to Tour 6 and grind out a few games there to get the 1.1 again and move on to the next tour. This ensures that you never go broke and you never have to go down and play the beginner tours or, you know, other tours that you see some high-level people playing. Number 6, this is going to cause for some hate in the comments, and I know some people aren't going to agree with this, but I honestly believe it made me a better player.
Hey, don't hate the player, hate the game.
Don't use backspin unless completely necessary when going for chip-ins. You're more accurate when the ball rolls into the hole. When you put backspin on, you're clustering together. Not only is the ball going to stop closer, but it's going to do the hops that it does much closer to the end, and chances are you're going to hop over the hole, or at least there's a possibility for it. I like for the ball just to roll right into the hole, but if you have the opportunity to, as my son's going to try here, go for the dunk. Okay, number 7, special balls.
Yes! The gun, yeah! Thanks, Ray.
Marlins, this is number 7. Marlins should be self-sustainable through opening up chests. So as long as you're opening up your chest, coming back every 4 hours to open your silver chest, your free chest, getting your pin chest, things like that, you should always have a surplus of gems. Number 8, never give up.
Are you crying?
No.
Are you crying? Are you crying? There's no crying. There's no crying in baseball.
Most have come back from an out of bounds or a water hazard to at least go to a shootout, or at least be able to have an opportunity to chip the ball in. If you do have to give up, let's say someone stops over and visits or whatever it is, and you got to go. Hit your picture or the little gear icon on the screen and hit resign. Don't just leave the other person hanging. That's not cool.
Hey man, that's not cool.
Number 9, watch videos before playing a new tour. It's not always the obvious path that you would take to get to the hole that is the correct one. And number 10, very important, let the game come to you. Do not follow your opponent, but also don't be afraid to learn from them. If your opponent hits the ball full power and he gets a perfect shot and he jumps over that stream, like I said earlier, and you always lay up, you're not out of the game. You are not out of the game at all by laying up. All you have to do is simply play your game, and he may be using a short iron on his next shot, which your odds still aren't very high, even with the Hornet, of chipping that in. And you may be using your long iron. You're both going to end up on the green. It won't make a difference. So play your game. Never... Oh, that's 2 in a row you missed. You're not making a good case for my Duncan here. That's all right. I'll go over it with you a little bit later. But anyway, yeah, play your game. Don't let an overly aggressive person change your style of play just because they got a perfect. I'll tell you, most of the time, those people don't get the perfect shots. Now, this guy's going to show you how it's done. And he's got the Endbringer, which is a very accurate club. So let's watch and see if this guy can show us how... who is this? The name's cut off at the top. Hannah? Okay, Hannah's going to take us to school. This is perfect. You see how the yellow ring is all but disappeared inside there? plus with a 0.8 wind, I know this ball will definitely go in as long as it's hit perfectly. I bet you even if it's hit great, it'll go in. Let's watch real quick, and then my son, my sidekick
Are
mini
you
me.
sure about that?
Yep, he hit it great, and it still went in. That is one of those times that I'm telling you, got to give them the nice shot. That is one of the times I'm telling you to always go for a dunk, is when you can fit most of your target in the hole.